Leave It to Beaver looked like the picture of perfection. A neat suburban home, smiling faces, gentle lessons, and a reassuring sense that everything would be okay by the final scene. America embraced it, ratings soared, reruns kept it alive for decades, and even a later movie brought new fans into the fold. But behind that sunny image was a far messier reality the producers worked hard to keep hidden. Tough decisions were made on set, young actors faced immense pressure, scripts occasionally pushed the limits of what was acceptable, and one episode even caused serious trouble behind studio doors. Some problems were fixed quickly, while others stayed buried for years. Though the show remained spotless on screen, the truth behind the scenes was anything but. At its heart, Leave It to Beaver followed young Theodore Beaver Cleaver, played by Jerry Mathis, capturing the innocence, curiosity, and everyday missteps of growing up in post-war suburban America. Beaver wasn't perfect, and that honesty made him America's boy. His small adventures at school, at home, and around the neighborhood reflected an entire generation, from his early dislike of girls to innocent crushes on teachers Miss Canfield and Miss Landers. That realism extended beyond the scripts and into casting itself. Jerry Mathis famously landed the role not by trying too hard, but by being honest, showing up to his audition in a Cub Scout uniform and admitting he'd rather attend a scout meeting than audition. That sincerity convinced producers Joe Connolly and Bob Mosher he was the real thing. Tony Dow, who played older brother Wally, had no acting experience either. He was discovered as an athlete and lifeguard, already a junior Olympics diving champion, whose discipline and natural presence translated seamlessly to the screen. Their chemistry became one of television's most believable sibling relationships, but fame worried the producers, who even asked the boys not to watch the show to keep them humble. Behind the scenes, Barbara Billingsley's pearls weren't just fashion, they hid a surgical scar on her neck, while her high heels were a practical solution to keep her taller than her rapidly growing TV sons. Hugh Beaumont, who portrayed Ward Cleaver with calm authority, was an ordained minister in real life, and the moral lessons he delivered on screen reflected values he genuinely lived by. Yet his life off-camera was marked by tragedy, including a devastating family loss during production, deep regrets about leaving ministry for acting, and frustration at being typecast and overshadowed by the young stars. Still, he channeled that conflict into creativity, writing and directing episodes inspired by real memories, much like Connolly's notebooks filled with childhood stories that formed the backbone of the show. Even side characters evolved unexpectedly. Eddie Haskell was meant to be a one-time role until Ken Osmond's performance made him indispensable. The show broke norms by telling family stories through a child's perspective, even pushing television boundaries by becoming the first series to show a toilet tank on screen, nearly getting censored in the process. Off-screen lives diverged dramatically. Barbara Billingsley was actually a widowed single mother. Tony Dow eventually became a sculptor. Jerry Mathis left Hollywood for college, military service, banking, and later a health transformation that made him a national spokesperson, while Ken Osmond walked away from acting entirely to become a Los Angeles police officer, surviving a near-fatal shooting in the line of duty. Other cast members found equally surprising paths, from stockbroking to writing tell-all memoirs, while some child actors disappeared due to parental interference rather than talent. The Cleavers town of Mayfield was deliberately left unnamed, designed to feel like every town in America, filmed on Universal's backlot and blended with real-world footage to heighten authenticity. Even Ward Cleaver was recast after the pilot. The show's title was changed at the last minute, and the most expensive episode ever filmed involved a massive billboard stunt that later became legendary. Leave It to Beaver wasn't just a wholesome family sitcom, it was a creative experiment filled with hidden struggles, quiet bravery, and real human stories that gave its warmth authenticity. And maybe that's why, decades later, it still feels like home.